Hello, viewers. This is SP here, and this is my third installment of the Pokemon Final Remake series. For Gen 3, I gave it the name Pyro Ruby and Icy Sapphire. And like with the last one, the legendary Pokemon will have regional forms. So for Groudon, it would have a rock and fire type. It would be a rock and fire type. And as for a regional Kyogre, it would be a ice and water type. Oh, and the starter Pokemon will have regional forms too. Trico would be a grass and dragon type. Torchic would be a fire and ground type. And Mudkip would be a water and poison type. Oh, and depending which starter type you have, yes, like with the one of the rivals would have a starter Pokemon that would be strong against the protagonist's starter Pokemon. But as for Wally, his starter Pokemon would be part Psychic, which I'll explain later. So, and depending on which version of the game you choose, you would be on one of the other teams. For Pyro Ruby, you would be on Team Magma, and for Icy Sapphire, you would be on Team Aqua. You would be on you would also be on missions of sorts, and the player would choose either to go through with the plan or not go through with the plan or pick another option that would help bring a positive light to one of the teams, especially the team that you're in. hmm Let's see. Oh, yeah. Depending on which team the player is on, the team's leader will lead the player to either Groudon or Kyogre, where the player will automatically catch the legendary Pokemon and use it to defeat the opposing team's legendary Pokemon. Sorry for the pause. I was just thinking of what else to say before moving on. And anyway, just like with the previous two, the protagonist would date a particular character, not just by gender, but by which version. So for Brandon, aka the male trainer, he would date either May, Roxanne, Flaneria, Rionia, or whatever her name's pronounced, Liza, Phoebe, I think that's what's pronounced, Greta, Lucy, Annabelle, Courtney for Pyro Ruby, or Shelly for Icy Sapphire. For May, aka the female trainer, she would date either Brandon, Brawley, Tate, Wallace, Sydney, Stephen, Noland, Tucker, Tobiah for Pyro Ruby, or Matt for Icy Sapphire. And for one example, sorry, I should mention that there will be exclusive cutscenes, like with the previous two versions, for whichever character you decide to date and stuff. So, like for example, if the boss of one of the teams gets mad at you for disobeying orders or for doing something that's not part of the plan, uh, I- the one of the generals, depending on which one you're dating, would defend the character and just and get convinces the leader to give him or her a second chance or just listen to the protagonist about what he or she has to say, which the leader would be convinced and probably understands. Well, anyway, let's see. And also, if the playable trainers are either in a romantic relationship with one of the generals of both teams or not, it would result with two of the generals in a romantic relationship, like Tibeta or whatever his name is pronounced would end up with Shelly, and Matt would end up with Courtney. Yes, there'll be a male role. It's just from one of the Pokemon ideas I have with my Pokemon ideas video. Let's see. Oh, the Delta episode would be in this one too. So the Delta episode is in this remake where where the protagonist, Wally, and the person who the protagonist is dating are preventing a meteor from crashing into Earth. During the Delta episode, if the protagonist, ignore the playable character part, I'm just calling him or her the protagonist. So anyway, the protagonist decides to not catch Rayquaza or chooses not to catch Rayquaza, then Zinnia will catch Rayquaza. But the protagonist would still receive Rayquaza's data and add it to the Pokédex. And if the protagonist decides to not catch Deoxys, then Wally will catch Deoxys as instead, but still receive Deoxys data and add it to the Pokédex. And after the data episode, Wally and Zinnia would start having a romantic relationship. It's just a fun added thing. So yeah, XP share, regional forms, all preforms. Oh yeah, here's these two options I have. For option 1, the player can choose either gym battles or contest. A little bit too much, but that one's just a little bit option. One that was an option 2, but maybe should be the main thing. Whichever starter Pokemon the player chooses, Wally's starter Pokemon would be part Psychic type. But be weak against the protagonist's starter Pokemon, which I did mention earlier, so my bad. So yeah, you know about the art style if you watch my two previous Pokemon Final Remake ideas, then you probably know. So the outfits for the characters to wear, this is Brandon's, aka the male player's outfit, and this is May's, aka the female player's outfit. This is Professor Birch's outfit, and this is what Wally would wear. Although in this final remake of Gen 3, he would be a psychic type user, which is the reason why I have a regional starter Pokemon for Gen 3 to be part psychic, similar to the rival aka Silver from Gen 2. Okay, moving on. This is what Zinnia would wear. Maybe except for the Mega Evolution thing or brace on her leg. And here's the gym leaders. This is what Roxana's outfit looks like. Looks better than the newer version. And here's Brawly's outfit. And this is Watson's outfit. This is Flaneria's outfit. This is Norman's outfit. Winonia's outfit. Tate and Lisa's outfit. Wallace's outfit. The Elite Four would be Sydney's outfit and Phoebe's outfit, or whatever her name is pronounced. Glacia's outfit, Drake's outfit, and Steven's outfit. And the Frontier Brains, this is what Nolan's outfit looks like. And this is Greta's outfit here. Spencer's outfit here. Lucy's outfit. Brandon's outfit. Annabelle's outfit here. Tucker's outfit. And Team Magma's here. This is Maxie's. And well, since there aren't any full art designs of Tobiah and Courtney's a character from the original Gen 3 games. This is all I could do right now is just have their sprite images. So this is what they look like. Well, Courtney would look more like what in the manga version. Maybe with like that small cape that's behind her. And this is the Team Grunts' outfit. And Team Aqua here. This is what Archie looks like. And yeah, same thing with Shelly and Matt. Shelly would probably look more like in the anime. And yeah, Matt here. So this again, I'm sorry that I can't find full images of these. Well, there aren't any full art images of the characters for the Gen 3 games, especially for Courtney and Matt since they never appeared in the anime. But this is just the best I could do. And this is what the grunts look like here. Now, let me think. There was something else, but I forget what else to say. Oh wait, now I remember. Like with the previous two, this one would also be connected to the previous games, especially if the player played the previous two games. You know, like connections or look backs, like or something like, being connected in a way. So that's it for my final remake version of Gen 3. What do you guys think? What ideas do you have for a final remake of Gen 3? Let me know down to the comments. Let me know down in the comments below and goodbye.